Well, hello everybody. I hope you're doing well this beautiful Thursday. Whoops, sorry for that probably audio interference. I am coming to you live from a beautiful, little warm for me, Boise, Idaho. This is Lisa Harden, and welcome everyone to the Stamping Zoo. We're going to have a little crafty time here. I hope you're all ready for it. I know I am. Never as, what I want to say, never as organized as I might like, but you know what? We get it done, right? So hello. Can I give you a few minutes to log in, see your notifications, and I also need a little bit of lotion. This is not, I do not recommend that you put lotion on before making cards, but you know what? That's how dry my hands are. I am so happy to tell you I've been doing a little work. Log in. Whoops. See your notifications.
And I also need a little bit of lotion.
We need a mute.
This is not, I do not recommend.
Hush, Lisa. Okay. So I've been working in the yard a little bit the last few days, and then today actually I had to give my body a rest. My body has not caught up with my mind yet, and so we're going to give it a little time. Hi everybody, jumping on and sharing already. Thank you so much, Ethel, Roz, Jean. Hello, ladies. I hope you're doing well tonight. Oh, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. Now it's Thursday night already, which I always love because it means a little more free time than normal is coming my way. Hello, Mary Ellen. I wrote today, I love it when you take me on vacation. Thank you so much. And you're even sharing, and gosh, I hope you're having a great time in California. I believe you are visiting your daughter. So I hope that's going well. Let me adjust the lighting here a little bit. It sounds much fancier than it is. I just put the blinds down a little bit. Oh, hi, Ann. Tell Mari hi. And I hope you guys are having a fun time. You're so nice to jump on and share. You know what you have to do, don't you? So yes, we are going to do a little playing with a new upcoming suite in the new July to December mini catalog. While we are talking about that, I will give you a visual. How about that? This is the beautiful new July to December mini catalog. If you are a demonstrator or would like to be, you could be ordering from this catalog right now. So it goes live to customers July 1st, which I think is next week. I can't believe it. But yeah, I was just thinking it is next week. Okay, so anyway, this goes live to all customers, but it is live for demonstrators right now. And so we've been ordering and playing with all the beautiful things. And even though it's starting to just heat up into official summer, we're thinking about Christmas and the fall and pumpkins. This is where my mind wants to be anyway. But you know what? I am not. It's rare, but I'm not going to officially claim about the weather or complain about the weather, even though it is mid-June, because it's been quite nice in my neck of the woods. And considering what it could be when I watch the news, I realize, oh, pretty lucky. So anyway, we're going to do a little playing with this. And of course, many of you that have access to it already have been playing with this as well, because one of the benefits of becoming a demonstrator, and again, that is nothing more than ordering up your starter kit and purchasing $125 of product for $99 plus tax. It sounds like there's a lot more involved in it, doesn't it? But guess what? That's it. And the only other thing that you have to do as a demonstrator is just enjoy yourself. Buy the products you like, and as long as you are a current demonstrator, you get to purchase all the products you like at a 20% discount at least. And the benefits just go up from there. And if you would like to be a part of the Stamping Zoo, I would love to have you on my team. Everyone is welcome on my team. We do some online and some in-person gatherings, and I'm totally comfortable with both. In case you don't live near Boise, Idaho, don't feel like that should dissuade you from joining my team, because I will get you involved in lots of other ways. Okay, so Anyway, as a demonstrator, we had the opportunity this past Saturday to attend an online event that was called Creativity Now. So while you are looking through these, if you like the things we do tonight, if you put hashtag Creativity Now into your browser, you can see all sorts of products. And so I think there were 3 cards and a gift bag that we made with this suite of products. This is one of the cards, obviously. It's stunning. Gosh, I can't remember the demonstrator now. Somebody will help me on here, but her name was Kristen. Did a great job talking us through this card. And of course we had the measurements and we had everything. It was just a day for us to play and create as the attendee of the class, right? And so it was a top-notch online event, very easy to maneuver through the platform and everything else, and it was videoed, and you had written tutorials, this and that. They just did a fantastic job for us. And if we wanted to participate in the making of the cards, this was the suite that we purchased. And so let's just talk about this for a minute. Again, it is going to be available to customers July 1st. It's a breath of fresh air, I think. But I can see why it's in the July to December mini, because I think it fits in these hot days of summer. But I could totally see changing the color combo just a little bit and making this into fall cards and whatnot. It's a true all occasions stamp set. Okay, let me get the glare off of that a little bit. So we've got sending hugs. Who doesn't like sending hugs? Let's celebrate much love in your new life together. And today is a day to remember. And then we have these 2 images that are line images and then an image that fills them in should you want to. But there are lots of different things you can do with that, lots of different techniques and whatnot. And then of course this cute bee. And the plants aren't really possible without the bee. So I love that we circle back around with that. And then of course it's got a killer set of dies. I'm telling you, I think, and I look at other products, I don't buy other products, but I spend a lot of time looking at other things that are available from other companies. They've got nothing on our dies, and they've really got nothing on our stamps either, so what can I say? So sad for them. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to turn into a bashing session, but I guess my point is, I do look at other items, and time again, Stampin' Up! Comes out on top for me. So, and this is just one reason why the dies just keep getting better and better. I don't know how, but they do. And so these are like all sorts of images. They do not, let's see. I believe you can cut out the line images. Yes, you can cut out the line images, but then there's all these other botanical pieces, okay, that go together. Coordinate, and you can cut out the bee, all right, and then there's this little half circle. Isn't that interesting? And then it has some detail on it. And so in one of the cards we're gonna make, we will use that as actually a planter. So it's really, and then I've seen people use it as just a circle, put 2 of these die cuts together with different colors DSP, and the sky's the limit. It's just one of those dies that's just in there. I actually used this on last month's In Color Club thank you card. So if you are in the In Color Club, you may have wondered like where that die came from on your thank you card. Well, it came from right here. And I used this one on the inside. So glad you're my friend. I can only imagine what you would say about me if we weren't. Never, because I don't shop for other Rozes. I have a perfect Roz. I have a perfectly good Roz, and I'm not going to shop for other Roz. Okay? But, in the Stampin' Up! World, I got to make sure that, Stampin' Up! Is representing. And I'm here to tell you, they are. So, in fact, too much. I mean, you should see my, let's just say, I don't have any troubles meeting my minimums, and then some. So anyway, I'm so glad to be here to share all of this with you. So let's take a look at the pieces and parts that kind of go into the suite as well. This is some beautiful seam binding ribbon. We do have, let's see, we've had seam binding in the past, and we have a crinkled seam binding ribbon that's white. But this one is not crinkled, and as you can see, I hope you can catch that. Let me get a, my camera's on a delay. I'm trying to get this to focus for you. I guess I need to pull it back a tiny bit. Anyway, it's got a nice grain to it, even though it's super lightweight. Okay, it's just going to be silly. It wants to focus on that stuff, I think. Anyway, you'll just have to buy it, because that's how good it is. Okay, it's working on it. The camera's like, come on, this is too small. And also, I have a new phone, remember? So, there, I think that kind of worked. Anyway, just take my word for it. It's really pretty. It's 10 yards of 3/8 inch, okay? And it's just, right? Who doesn't love soft seafoam? I really like it. And then, of course, it comes with a beautiful package of designer series paper. This is 12 by 12 paper, and this doesn't do it justice. As we go through the projects, I will show you whole sheets of paper, but just, let's see here. One side is all foil, but it is designer series paper weight. So here's a sheet of foil. It's probably just a bunch of shine to you. But there's ladybugs on it every so often. And in the back, I love this. So this isn't foiled, but this is a pack of paper that you have to make a tough decision on. It's true. It's tough, but you gotta do it. And if you can't decide, then just buy 2 packs of the paper, right? Okay, so let's see. Someone was chatting with me early on. Let me grab this. Oh, Susan says she made thank you cards for her work for the Children's Miracle Network, thanking customers for their donations. Wow, that is such a personal way to thank customers at the Walmart. I love it. That's so nice. And hello, Andrea. Thank you for sharing. Oh, gosh. And hi, Leslie. How are you doing? And Corinne, Lori. Oh, you guys all jumped on when I wasn't watching. Oh, that's so cute. I love it, Susan. Yeah. And I know the paper is absolutely gorgeous. So again, I hope you can kind of see that without too much glare. Let me take it out of this. I got all cut up on my samplers, so I have all my papers in this format now. And more to come when I buy more papers, right? But it is a nice way to see everything that you have at a glance. But then, of course, I do keep my 12 by 12 papers in these sleeves, and I've linked this before in many videos. But if you take a look, see, this is what like a full sheet of it looks like. Okay, it's, I don't even know what to say about it. It's beautiful. And then this is just as pretty. So this is actually a background DSP for this card. And then a cool technique we are going to do. I thought it was a watercolor wash when I first looked at the card, and I actually grabbed out my water painter. But then when I watched the video, I realized, oh, they've done a little, you know, a little technique that's so simple but so beautiful. Okay, let's see here. So, is this soft seafoam? No, it's macaron. You guys, here's the sad part. I don't think I have my soft seafoam blends. I really wanted to have those for this, but it's okay because, you know, unfortunately I have like 30, 50, 80, or 100 other blends. So we're gonna make it work. It's not a huge sacrifice on my part, but it's nice to know that I need to add something to my shopping list because, you know, then I can go shopping. Don't be silly. Okay, so anyway, these are the beautiful papers, and we are going to incorporate those into our cards tonight because I was going to make the gift bag with you, and then I decided that was a little too difficult for my brain tonight. But here's what I did. The first thing we're going to start with is we are going to make this card, but we are going to make it in a slightly different color combination. Okay, so this will be kind of a fun way to see just a few of your options with all of these beautiful papers and everything. But first, I do want to give you a reminder of something that's super cute that you probably need, and that is that the mini shopping bags are available to you now. You get 4 bags for $13. You do need to be, I believe, you need to be a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to add this to your order. The secret computer will know whether or not you're Paper Pumpkin subscriber. I don't know. Try it. Just give it a try. And if it errors out, then you can't have them. You have to sign up to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. But they're only $13. And if you recall, I did make a video on Sunday or Saturday, Friday. No, it was Friday. It was Friday, I promise. And it's been well received. Hundreds of you have watched it over on YouTube and Facebook. So I appreciate that so much. And so anyway, I just want you to know that those are available now at $13. And then also coming up will be the next month's kit is going to have a nautical theme. It's called Sending Good Thoughts. It's going to have 9 cards, 3 each of 3 different designs. They are standard 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards. And I'm just really looking forward to it. I do not think this bottle is going to be in there. Otherwise, I probably would have said that. But I do not know. I just know that it's super cute, right? You can probably find them on Amazon if you love them. But let's wait and see what the kit has in store for us. I know I am looking forward to that one. So again, if you didn't catch this video, you'll have to catch it on a replay. And if you are watching on replay right now on Facebook or YouTube, hello and welcome and thank you so much. And I will say, whether you are live or on replay, if you would please do me a favor to help spread the word of the Stampede Zoo. I was going to say spread the gospel, and then I was like, that's a little too much. Spread the word, the crafting word. Please like, share, and comment on my videos. It helps me know what you like, right? If you comment, it helps me know what your questions are. I'm more than happy to help you always. And whether you're a customer of mine or not, that's not my primary concern, okay? My primary concern is that you just have a fun time making cards and finding what you need in the Stampin' Up! World. I do sell all of the products we'll be using tonight, and then some, like a few extra thousand. So where everyone's exploring usually starts are with the beautiful catalogs. So again, if you live in the United States and you're not currently working with another demonstrator, if you would like me to send you complimentary catalogs, I do that. Can you believe it? Yep, I can get them out to you tomorrow. If you just private message me, send me your mailing address, I would happily send these to you. So, okay, with that, let's rock and roll and make a card or two. Whoops, here goes the bone folder. Over the deck. Good thing I have a few more. Okay, let's see here. I need a piece of grid paper. I've been folding it in half. I find it's a little more useful. Then I don't get it filthy all over the place immediately. I don't know. I have this hang up. And so I feel like a half is good room. It's about the size of the camera, and so it helps me to know where everything is sitting anyway. This is going to be a basic white card base though, so I want to put the grid paper behind it at least, so you have a little bit of reference. So it's not like, you know, snowman in a snowstorm kind of thing. Okay, so again, we're making this card, but we're switching up the supplies just slightly. Okay, so instead of a soft Seafoam card base, oh, and I was also going to say, if any of you, I know that some of you, like a lot of you, attended Creativity Now because I saw you out there, okay? So if you did attend it and you enjoyed it, write in the comments which card you liked or, you know, what you liked about it, so that others know that in case, you know, for those of you who are not demonstrators, you can get a little bit of information about what people liked about the special events. And so this was, as I said, our first time crafty only event. It was no business, it was all craft. And it was so fun. Okay, so this is the technique for this card. Instead of watercolor wash, which is, you definitely could get this effect using watercolor wash, but you would more than likely, not more than likely, but to be successful, you would need watercolor paper, our Fluid 100 watercolor paper, or shimmer white. Those are the two papers that you can use water applications on, okay? But for this one, we're not going to use a water application because we're just going to use the Stampin' Blends and we're going to scribble. And you get like a very similar effect, don't you, to watercolor wash. Now, in a perfect world, I would have my soft Seafoam markers and I could do 2 colors on this, but I don't have my soft Seafoam. So I think I'm just going to use my Pool Party on the whole thing because I know this is going to blow your mind, but I want to keep kind of a light feel to this card and what do I want to say, a soothing, maybe soothing. One thing that I think is soothing is not having very many colors. And again, like, it's not my wheelhouse, right? Usually I'm grabbing them all. But for this one, I thought, you know, I can act mature and do some different coloring techniques. Hello, Jill. I saw your friend Julie was on the road again. I don't know where she went. Maybe she wasn't going anywhere. I just took that comment of hers to mean she was off on an adventure. In any case, I'm very glad to have you here. I hope you and Chuck are doing well. We are scribbling in case you came in late, and Jill, you probably went to Creativity Now, attended Creativity Now. It was online. You didn't have to go anywhere, just over to your computer. And okay, so that was the light Pool Party. All right, now I'm going to bring in the dark Pool Party, and I guess I'm just going to start in the middle and work down a little bit. Out, I should say, because this is going to be a portrait card, and so it's going to have light on the top and the bottom. I'm going to try and do a little blending. And then, and actually I want to do this. I want to scribble off the page in a couple places. I'm trying to make it look really random, but on accident. There. Okay, I like it. I like it. And as it dries, it will soften a little bit, but you'll still have this kind of streaky look. You know, blends don't streak very well, but you definitely have the difference in the inks there. So let's see how this ends up looking just with one color. And then, as they did this beautiful little stamping in the background with the bee. And so I'm going to bring the bee in. I'm just going to use Pool Party ink, but I'm going to try second generation. Okay, there we go. And it worked. And then this one I'm going to do there and there. How about that? Kind of keeping it out towards the outside, of course, because of the sentiment's going to be in the middle. And see there, I'm already, you know, taking my creative license with this thing and putting some more bees on it. Oh God, Jill. I wondered, oh man, that girl, she likes the afterworld as much as there's no way I'd go looking for them because I sort of believe in that stuff. I might not believe it whole hog, but I believe it enough that there's no way I'm going to go looking for spirits because I really don't want to chat with them. But good, that's good. See you later, Ann. Happy haircut. Happy hairstyling. Ann was tuning in on her hairstyling. Can you believe it? And that was very nice to share and everything. Okay, now look at this. This is interesting. I love it. It almost started fading, like maybe it was still kind of wet with alcohol there. And so it almost started like fading out. Even more of a cool technique. The markers do, they dry quickly, right? However, I laid down a lot of ink. So that may have been what happened. And that's kind of a happy accident. I really like that. Okay, now let's bring in a little bit of the soft Seafoam in the form of our accents. And I do just love the shape that this brings to the card. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to stick with that. Now I need a couple pieces of soft Seafoam. Will this work? Maybe. Maybe I can squish both of them on there. Oh yes, there's room. Okay, so just twisting away here over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to cut this twice. Oh goodness, and there's one. Whoops. And sometimes it works if you just throw this down on your desk. Let's see. No, it didn't want to come out. You get out. No, it won't do it. It's very stubborn. Okay, fine. I'm going to have to take your pick tool. How about this? Now, this stamp set is actually in celebration of a $1 million achiever. I meant to grab her name, but I'll grab it out of the catalog in just a minute. I was not familiar with her name, which means like zilch, nothing. But you know what? She's achieved $1 million in Stampin' Up! Sales. And if you think about the price of paper snips, even at $11, that's a lot of paper snips. So congratulations. And what a compliment that her stamp set was used for an all demonstrator event. I mean, that's kind of cool. I think it worked. And actually, I would really love to know, so we've talked about this before, but one of the things that demonstrators earn once they do sell $1 million, which doesn't happen every day, okay? Not everybody does that. But, oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I changed my mind, and I was going to cut those out in white. Okay. Brother, I got sidetracked there with my whole story. So anyway, as I was saying, when I'm recutting these, we'll use those on some other card. The demonstrator is obviously involved in designing or inspiring a stamp set. So I don't believe they actually like draw it. Okay, I know that's not the case. I can't say nobody's ever done that because I don't know the history. But I know that it's usually that the demonstrator provides some sort of inspiration for it or idea. I've heard them talk before, and lots of times they will give them like the feeling they want to evoke, like the happiness or reverence. You know, Patty Bennett's was ribbons and in honor of her mother, and so you know, stuff like that. They get to have a really personal effect on a stamp set, and I mean, wow, what better compliment. Okay, yes, I like that better. This is going to be a pool party in white card, remember, because I didn't have the Stampin' Blends. So then we go, well, at the end it's probably not going to make any difference. So glad you're all just chit-chatting. There's KZ. Hello, KZ. Okay, oh my goodness. Guess what? I've just won a John Deere mower. Right. Just click this link. Why in the world would they think that would entice me? I mean, I guess they've probably been following me and they know that I'm into plants or something. So dumb. Like I told you guys last week, there's always like a 5-star general that's just dying to be my Facebook lover. And it's always like, okay, what you really need to do if you want to entice me is act like a 50-something crafter with a dog. And you got me. I'll probably click your link. But otherwise, forget it. Because if you haven't noticed, there's not a lot of 5-star general Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. Okay, again, with the pool party. Oh, so pretty. Let's celebrate could be so many things. And so I kind of like having a few of these general sentiments in my stash. Now, there was a wedding sentiment in here. Much love in your new life together. A couple of thoughts on that one. You could just use the much love part, you know, mask it. But obviously it's a beautiful wedding sentiment, but I tend to make a card when I'm going to a particular wedding and match it to the gift. So in that case, I just like to wait. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to banner cut it. And because you know I don't do well with flagging it, where you make cut up the middle and then you cut the two sides. It turns into a big train wreck. So you can flag it if you would like it, or use your tailored tag punch to flag it. But I was just trying to keep it easy. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to grab my pool party marker one more time. The dark, let's do the dark. I'm going to move this. Now look, usually I do this in a paper pumpkin box, but I'm getting cocky tonight. I feel like I can just spritz it right here because it's just a little bit. Okay. Cute. She's so cute. All right, and then let me bring in the pieces and parts. The only thing that I can't use, again, I don't think it's a good idea to use the soft Seafoam ribbon because I haven't used it on anything else. So I'm going to use this crinkled. Oh, we have another ribbon that I think would work really well. It's a little bit, has more body. It's the pool party. Yes, queen. Look at that. Okay, so either option works, or hey, put your own spin on it. Yeah. Beautiful. I do love the, oh, getting to our end of our roll. You know what that means. Time to buy another one. So it's pool party sheer ribbon in the annual catalog. And the way I measured this is, I put some seal on the back of this. So the elements and the ribbon are both going to be popped up right along with the sentiment. Okay, and so I just took this and I'm going to go ahead and put a little bias cut, right? Just like my paper. And I'm just going to bring it this way. Put a loop on the other side. I'm trying to be generous with it, but you don't want this to be wider than your card. So, or I don't. So I'm just kind of guessing. You could measure it right alongside the card if you wanted to. And let's see. Oh, we're good. It looks like I measured it. I'm such a pro, I swear. Oh, don't say that, Lisa. Now I'm going to do something wrong, probably. Okay, now the other thing is I'm going to put up those two white images, die cuts, but I'm going to use some Seal Plus. You can use glue dots if you want, but I just felt like this gives me a little freedom to look at the front of the sentiment and then attach these while I'm looking at the front so I can get them exactly where I want. But as you know, this stuff is super sticky, so just try to do it a little lightly. Okay, and then I can see here, right, what I want to do. And I think I want to bring that one right up. You can almost make it look like one continuous long curve of a die. Isn't that pretty? You could also use a glimmer paper here. Excuse me. a glimmer paper. We have a white glimmer paper in the upcoming catalog. It's in with a group of other equally beautiful glimmer papers, and or foil. You could use foil too. So, especially with this suite that has so much foil in the paper, I think it'll end up being really beautiful. So we sell 12 by 12 sheets of solid rose gold foil. Not genuine rose gold, but solid, just a solid with no print on it. And I think that's a great accompaniment to this suite because it is, you can make it really simple and natural looking, and you can also make it very opulent. So, all right, we are at the part where we will just assemble. Again, using my seal, my regular seal. Make sure you keep your bees upright. That's an important thing. And I am doing off kilter. The designer did that, and it's not a huge difference because the mat is so close, but it is a difference, and I like it. It's a little touch of whimsy, right? And then I'm going to place this on here so the white that I've stamped on ends up being pretty straight. Okay, and then finally we have this little embellishment piece. So that's what the back of it looks like, right? So I have used seal to put down the ribbon, and then I've used Seal Plus to put down the die cuts, and then finally put a layer of dimensionals on it. And sometimes you can place your dimensionals strategically over your die cuts if you're doing this kind of a piece of embellishment, so that it gives them a little extra adhesive. So I have put a dimensional there and a dimensional down here. And of course we splattered on the front of it. Oh my goodness. It's like I've been making the card, but then as I finally look at it, it's quite pretty. Oh, wow. I like that. Let's see. We might add some embellishments. Other embellishments. I don't know. We could use opal. No. See, I want to keep it really pretty clear. We do have some pool party stuff, but I'm actually thinking of these clear polished dots that are in. Ooh, what about those pearls? Let's try these iridescent pearls. You know what? They have really kind of been rocking my world. The other pearls, it's kind of a Jen Houston thing. These pearls, kind of a Lisa Harden thing. I don't know why. I guess because of the iridescence. Now, I haven't spoken to Jen about these directly, but I am wondering if she likes them or if she prefers the, our standard basic pearls. There's no wrong answer here. Don't feel pressured. But I'm telling you, if you haven't tried the iridescent, give them a try. One nice thing about iridescence is that it will pick up a lot of different colors. So they tend to look more stylized, I think. And with all the purples and the blues and stuff. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, so this one I think turned out very nicely. And the sea glass. Yes, Deborah, that was a great idea. That would be really pretty. One final thing I want to do, of course, is put a little bee on the inside. I do like to have things on the inside, and I do very often, I'd say over 90% of the time, I put an insert into the card. Even if the cardstock is light, it's just my thing. I do it at classes, even though like I could save myself some time and materials, but that's not what it's about. So there's our white, and here is our soft seafoam with a pool party center. Which do you guys prefer? Do you have a preference there of these two? I'm going to clear the decks for a minute, and I'm going to let you do your voting. And hit your tabulators now. And after I clean the decks, we're going to have a drawing. Oh, crap. I forgot to bring something in. I better check the treasure chest. I was going to bring a particular thing in, but you know what? It's okay. It's all good. Oh, yeah. I still got some good stuff in here. I don't even need to go out to the other treasure chest yet. Ooh, this is a good one. By the way, friends, if you, so I didn't have any gift envelopes or mailing envelopes the last couple of weeks, but the drawings went out today. So I believe it was Susan and Elizabeth and Roz. I sent packets out to you today. And if you won something last week in the In Color Club, which 2 of you did, those will be coming to you in your packages of colors for July. So just saving a little shipping there. But nice. You like the right side, but you're partial to purples. Hey, you're singing that to the purple choir right here. I hear you. Deborah loves them both. Very pragmatic of you, Deborah. And you know what? I love them both too. I think they're pretty. I think it's a beautiful design. It's like a brilliant design, actually. I would give this to someone that I don't know at all, and I would give this to somebody who was a close friend. So that's the sign of a really good design. Okay, super fun. And again, working with the Splendid Thoughts and the Splendid Stems and all of those other associated products that are in the suite. Okay, which I can't show you the catalog, but you know, next week we'll have some fun with that. Now, you guys did such a nice job sharing the word of the Stampin' Zoo last week. I appreciate that so much. We had 21 shares. So I did smarten up and I went out and counted all the names, or got all the names well in advance. Well, this morning at lunch. So at least I didn't wait until like 10 minutes before. And I want to bring this up on my screen so you guys can watch the drawing. So we are going to have a drawing. I have a stamp set over here that some of you might want. You never know. Let's see. Now I need to try to find my display. Get to my display. Doing a little clicking and clacking over here on the other side. Sorry, ladies. There we go. Look at those names. Look at all the names. I love doing this. Not because there's all the names, but it's so fun to watch this grow. And I will say, early on, KZ, Kathleen, you were such an, I don't know, I almost said instigator, but you were a motivator of getting people to share. And I just appreciate that so much. Man, she was on it. And it was really fun. She was such a great person to remind people that if they were enjoying it, you know, it's not under duress. But if you're enjoying it and watching it, it's free to share. And it helps me so much. So the views are way up. You guys, the views on the Paper Pumpkin, which those are always pretty good, are almost 700 over on YouTube. I'm hoping for 800 because I think 800 was my the most I've ever shared a video over on YouTube. So if you're over on YouTube, hello! Please like and share this video. And I'm so glad to have you here. And leave me a comment and say hi, or tell me what you like, or tell me what your experience is with stamping. So let me know a little bit about you if you're comfortable with that. But anyway, so we are going to have a drawing, and then I'll tell you what the prize is. How about that? We're going to draw for a stamp set, and we're going to draw for a some cards. Okay, so first one is the stamp set, unless the person is out of the country, out of the United States. You know, I'm not per Stampin' Up! Compliance. I cannot send product out of the country. So you would receive a card, maybe one of the cards I made tonight. Okay, let's spin that wheel. Here we go. Look at that. Kind of made me dizzy. All right, Debbie. Yay, Debbie. Debbie has been sharing my videos also for years. So nice. Okay, and I will show you what she's going to win in just a minute. And then, let's see. Let's get 2 more names for a fun card. How about that? Oh, boo! Oh, that was funny. And Kathy, yay! Kathy, I don't think I have to send you a get well card because I think you're getting well. So perfect. I would send you a card anyway. I would send you all cards anyway. Okay, and one more card from tonight's videos. Let's see here who's coming up. Boy, it likes that little area, doesn't it? We've got Pam. Pam in North Carolina. Pam is a big time supporter of the Stamping Zoo. I love that so much. Thanks a million, my friends. Okay, I'm just writing this down real quick because I don't want to forget. And you know what? There's so many names that I could possibly forget. It happens. Okay, let me bring you back down to the desk, and I'm going to show you what. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry, you guys, you didn't see the wheel, did you? I'm so sorry, and you were probably telling me, and well, that was my snafu. Sorry. Now you're all telling me. Hey, I'm so sorry, Roz. Darn it. Well, anyway, you were looking at my desk the whole time, weren't you? And I was watching the wheel, and I was like, this is so exciting. Let's see here. Let me take you over. At least you can see. Here. Let me close this and let you guys see. Look, now this was, of course, when I call a name, then it gets removed from the wheel. But I just want you to know there was a wheel, and you were all on it. It sounded like I was making it up, didn't it? Woo! Watch the wheel go, everybody. There's too many screens on this thing. I get confused sometimes. Okay. Back to, I guess, the desk. That was the worst drawing ever. But you know what? Debbie has won the hippest hippos in town. So Debbie, this is coming out to you. Please send me a message with your mailing address. I might have it, but just send it to me just in case. Okay, and thank you for sharing for years and years. I appreciate it so much. And so you're going to get the hippest hippos. This is a set that's in the upcoming celebration. I will not send it out to her until July 1st. Sorry, Debbie, you can't have it until July 1st when it goes live. I believe that is the policy, but just to be a little conservative, I just wanted you to know that this is in celebration, so you can all earn this with a $50 purchase. So you can't just purchase this outright, but you can earn it in celebration. And celebration is going to be happening in July and August. Okay, and it's a ton of fun. Notice I was kind of referring to the hippos there. That's one of the sentiments. Let me see. I have a celebration flyer. Well, when I send out these catalogs to everyone, you also got a celebration flyer if you are my customer. And oh my gosh, the catalog is so cute, so cute. I mean, there's so many good things in it, and so many. The celebration flyer this time coordinates so well with existing products in the catalogs. So I think you're going to be really amazed. So save your pennies. Save your pennies. Get ready. Yes, I realize. I'm so sorry about that drawing. That was a big dud. The price was good. The drawing was a dud, but I'm new here. What can I say? Okay, this is another white card base. Weird. Yes, then Debbie can get the dies that go with the hippos for another $50 purchase. So she's already halfway there. She may as well get the dies. And the dies are, well, what did I just say? They're super cute, right? They're really fun, and they have a ton of water options. These hippos are going to play in the water, and there are Let me show you this. There's sunglasses, an umbrella, a splash of water, or you can make it be, I believe that, oh gosh, who turned this into a crown and put it on a little ballerina? I can't remember right now. You guys will tell me. There's like a wash tub, waves and a boat, a motor. Look at that. A tiny floaty thing, a snorkel, and a diving mask. And then the sunglasses are different, right? And then a birthday hat, love. I mean, the hippos are going to be very popular because they've already been popular. So anyway, just wanted you to see that. Okay, now we're going to make a card. I'm not going to show you what it's going to end up being like. But this was also from the Creativity Now. And this was made by Julie DiMatteo, otherwise known as the Paper Pixie, right? I love the Paper Pixie. She makes beautiful things. She's really a 3D queen. And I am always amazed at her organizational skills. And then she mentioned that she's recently quit her job and gone to Stampin' Up! Full time, but her previous job was forensic accounting. And when she said that, I was like, okay. All right. It's like riding a bike for her. That's just her deal, right? That's how she operates. And that's the perfect kind of person to do all these 3D objects for us because she's just so organized with it. Okay, now I'm like obsessed with looking at the screen. I want to make sure that, yes, I'm on the screen now. Okay, so white card base, and we're going to do a little bit of embossing, dry embossing with Calypso Coral, and we're going to do some stamping and die cutting. It's got all the bells and whistles, okay? So let's start out by stamping the images that we are going to put on this card. We are going to stamp in Memento, which is just our basic black ink. I really like it for black ink. We also have StazOn, but that stuff stains, and I like my stamps to be nice and clean. Yes, I know I can clean it, but here's the secret. I'm a little bit lazy about that. Like, I'll do it, but I'll complain about it. So why don't I just use a Memento? There are times and places for StazOn. If you are using water, so if you're going to do a watercolor wash and you're stamping something over it, you'd better be using StazOn or you're not going to be happy with the outcome. And watercolor pencils with water, use the StazOn or your images will bleed. Okay, so with that, this looks like a really artistic eucalyptus, doesn't it? I love it. I love how these images kind of ride the line between cartoon and realistic. They're, what do I want to say? They're very realistic, but they're more whimsical than realistic. They actually look like they have some motion, which is really cool. I don't think I need this one for anything else, so I should have stamped it right in the middle. I'm going to try again. And I need to press in the middle. This is kind of a bigger stamp, so I should have given it a little more pressure. In the middle, there. I like that better. And now I'm looking at a picture off screen, but I'm making you wait to see it. Because sometimes it's fun to know what you're making, I think, and then some people want to be surprised, so that's why we're having a combination tonight. And then let's use the Sending Hugs, which is also quite adorable. Let's see. Let me get my sentiments back in order. I don't want to lose them. And I probably just need a little scrap. Why don't I put it on this? I think that this white is just all for die cutting and stuff, so it doesn't need to stay prim and proper. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out this little corner with the Sending Hugs because we will further cut down this sentiment. We're actually going to trim around it. That's kind of a thing with Julie, and I love that she brought that to this card. It's one of her, I don't think, you know, it's not like a trademark. She doesn't do it all the time, but I see her do it often. She is one of the people that I follow regularly. I get inspired. I don't always make her projects, but I really get inspired by her organization. I love a lot about the format of her live videos, and I'm sure that she has taught me things. So that's one thing I really like about watching Julie. It's not always, for me, it's not always about her project. A lot of times it's about how she's recording her video. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of different die cuts. So we have a few, we're gonna do 2 and 2, I think. Oh, but what's that one? That one looks different. Oh, that's this thing. Now see, I kind of overlooked that thing. That's pretty though, isn't it? Okay, so let me get, with this, on this basic white, I'm just going to cut out as many as I can, and nothing more fancy than that is going on off screen, I promise. Okay. Righty. Oh, I love this. I do love getting together with you guys on Thursday nights. In fact, I can't remember who it was. You know, I wasn't even supposed to be here tonight. Did you know that? I was going to skip out on you. Well, I was going to give you another one instead. But tonight, I was scheduled to go to Shakespeare, the outdoor theater that we have here. And most of the cast, unfortunately, has COVID. So they actually closed the Shakespeare Festival for a week. Sad for them, sad for me. I was going as part of a work thing, but it's kind of like one of those things where and it's not my work, it's somebody else that we work with, another company that we work with was going to take us kind of as a thank you, and they spoil us, they give us dinner and delicious drinks, and they give us a blanket. That's the most important part to me. They give us a little blanket. It's just like such a nice treat. I feel so fancy, and you know that's just my thing, right? Is feeling fancy. So anyway, it got canceled, and I'm sure they're giving a contribution to the Human Fund in our name instead. But you know, it's not their fault. And to try and reorganize something like that never works, right? With like over 100 people. I don't know how many people go, but a lot. And so anyway, you know what? I was sad for a few, but then not very long, because then I was like, oh, I have another really great option. I can hang with my peeps tonight. And I don't even have to put my dress on. In fact, I might be wearing a dress tonight, or I might be wearing something that looks like pajamas. You guess. I'm just super comfortable. That's all I can say. All right, let me click back here real quick to see what's going on with you guys. Yeah, I know. It's you know, numbers are supposedly raising again. And I'm not saying supposedly. I just mean, like, I don't believe it. I'm saying supposedly, like, here we go again. And anyway, so, you know, there's that. Now we're going to take this piece. Oh, look at that. It's copper, fully copper on one side. But I want this, this Calypso coral print, and I'm going to take that, and remember, we're going to use it as a planter. That's what Julie designed, and so I do want to do what Julie does, remember. Okay. So don't forget, this was all part of a super fun online class that Stampin' Up! Demonstrators could participate in. And there was a cost for it, but I thought the cost was very fair for what we received. And it was super fun, and I learned lots of tips. And when somebody like me, who makes cards every day, learns lots of tips, then you know, Okay, it's a good class. It's really fun and worthwhile, and got to kind of see all of you out there and things like that. Okay, let's see. Andrea says, I like cards too. 3D projects are fun to see, but I'm not interested in making them. Yeah, Andrea, I like 3D a lot, but a couple of things. I don't have room to store all those samples. And so what ends up is they get crushed, or I just give them away so fast that they aren't really samples. You know what I mean? It's fun if I know that, it's nice to know that when I need to make some really special packaging, I can make my own, right? I know how to make gift bags super easy, and Julie's kind of a go-to person if you want to make a special little 3D object for some little gift. She knows all about it. So that part's really cool. And I mean, she's like uber popular. So not a bad word to say about her stuff. It's so beautiful. Okay, let's see here. Why do I have, I'm gonna die cut these. I know that. And then I'm like, why did I cut this piece? I think maybe that was for some other card. We'll just go with it. And then I'll realize, oh yeah, this and that's missing. You know, sometimes that's how I make my cards. That's how it goes. Okay, so taking the 2 dies of the plants, and I'm using the standard Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I believe you could use the mini. I don't know. This one leaf looks kind of large. The one on the soft Seafoam looks like it might be a little too wide, but possible. It's possible. In any case, I know I can cut both of them at the same time on the standard, so I like to do that. Oh, so pretty. Look at these objects. I love them. Oh, okay, putting my die cuts back as I go, because you never know where they're going to end up. Now this is actually going to end up being upside down like this. And then we are going to fussy cut our sentiment. Like I said, it's kind of a thing she does. Let's see if I can do it. Can I do it? Yes, but will it look great? I don't know. I'm kind of going to go a little straighter. She actually goes like in and out of every letter. I know what my limit is. My limit is I'm going to do the G and the H. Maybe come around the side here. So again, you move your left, well in my case, I'm moving my left hand. My right hand is really trying to stay pretty much in the same spot. That's a little far off. Now, I do cut right-handed, right? We've had this conversation before. I am left-handed, so when you watch me sometimes, don't be like, she was doing something right-handed. I kind of just learned different things when I was little. I was a little more adaptable. Oh, that's cute. I might like to trim a little bit off of this side, though. It's too much of a bubble. Okay. Oh, that's cute. That's a good one. See? Trying to be like Julie. Okay. And then we are going to take this, and this is what we're going to do some dry embossing on with our beautiful 3D brick and mortar. That's what I was trying to think. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'm trying to think about what I can do to create the least amount of mess, because I am going to use white craft ink, and I feel about it even more strongly than I do about Stays On. It is really cool for different applications. It is not what you want to use if you're looking for a crisp white sentiment, when you see images of crisp white sentiments, or when we make them here, we use white embossing powder, right? But when we are using, we can use white craft ink on lots of different applications. So we're going to kind of use it here. Now let me show you. This is what it looks like. It's in the same section as the regular inks, but this is a pigment ink. That's why it says craft Stampin' Pad Whisper White. And it actually comes like this. When you order the Whisper White, and this happens, people ask me about it, but when you order this, this comes uninked, okay? So you need to put this on when you get it. And part of the reason why is because this can dry out. It's just a lot different than the water-based ink, right? Because it's pigment, not water-based. Okay, that was such a scientific explanation, wasn't it? Sorry. Kind of pathetic, really, but you get the point. So anyway, just know that you apply the ink to the ink pad. And for a long time, I only did like little pieces of it. And then finally I needed a large piece, so I just inked the whole thing. It's kind of funky. And it's slow to dry. I really should have done this first. But we're doing it right now. Last. I have to laugh at myself. You know, what would also look really fun with this ink pad is this. Oh, it's a thought. No, I'm gonna stick with Julie's design. This is more uniform, and I think it'll be better. It won't compete with those free-flowing images of the plants. So I'll just stick with it. Julie knew what she was doing. All right, this is Brick and Mortar. It's a 3D embossing folder, and so I'm simply you just slide the cardstock, whoops, into the embossing folder. And the way Stampin' Up! Has these set up, at least the current folders, is that the front, the piece that's going to be raised, there's a logo on the embossing folder itself, and there's a black line, which will help you to line up your paper. Now, on something like a brick wall, unless you're going for a different effect, you want to line it up so it's straight, okay? And then I'm just going to be running it through the embossing folder with the folded part going through first. And that is to try to protect our folder from snapping like a chopstick. Okay, and then we have this beautiful brick wall, basically. Now, Julie put this on a blending brush. That's a great idea. If you want to have a blending brush that's committed to this, goodbye to those of you sleeping. Oh gosh, Kathy had the grandkids today. Okay, so, oh, look, it's getting all over me already. 1 minute. This is another thing. It's probably worse than Night of Navy as far as getting all over stuff. And it, like I said, it doesn't dry. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, why am I covered in white? So I don't want to put it on a blending brush because that blending brush can only be used for craft white. And I don't even think you can wash it out very well, I'm guessing. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up this ink pad. And I am going to do a combination. I am just going to get some white on the bricks like this. You could do another thing, our other dry embossing and ink technique where you actually put this ink onto your embossing folder. But again, it's messy. Like, I'm going to be talking with you for a few more minutes, and in that time, it will make a big mess on my embossing folder. I'm trying to be as easy as possible. And then see, that stuff is like all over. But didn't it make such a cool effect on the brick wall? You guys like this? Are you chatting with me, or did everyone go to sleep? Ladies, hello. Stampers. You're like, we've already made this. Well, I did a slightly different technique for you there. I didn't use a blending brush. Yes, Roz, exactly. and then it kind of dries and gets all weird, and it's just not good. Okay, we have all the pieces and parts, I believe, which is generally how I put cards together if I know what I'm making in the first place. If I'm just creating on the fly and I don't know what I'm making, then I might put it together in all sorts of order. So now let's take this is our card base. That's not going to have the ribbon on it. The ribbon is going to be around this, the brick wall, basically. And I know this is still probably a little bit wet, but I'm going to try and be careful with it. How about that? I think that, now Julie, if you see her example, she has tied the most beautiful bow. I mean, and she probably did it all with one single piece of ribbon, but friends, I'm not Julie. So I break it down like this. I do it in 2 pieces because then I can get the wraparound nice and tight. You see I'm sticking it onto the back with seal. That's enough to hold it, at least for right now. And then I'm going to tie my bow separately. And I will tie it on the roll, at least on one side. That saves you from over committing ribbon, right? And then I'm going to, it just gives me more, control over the ribbon if I do it in 2 pieces. I can't seem to get it all together at once. If I do it all in one piece, then like this piece isn't tight enough, or the bow looks totally wonky. And oh, this ribbon, I'm in love with this ribbon, you guys. Soft Seafoam seam binding ribbon. Coming up July 1st, customers can purchase it, as well as everything else. As well as everything else in this suite, right? You can purchase it with simply using one item number, or you can purchase all the pieces and parts separately if you want to. And you can also buy the bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, and when you do that, you can save 10%. So let's put this down. I think I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I don't remember at this point. I don't remember if she did or not, but I think she probably did. And I'm going to keep the dimensionals kind of low because I want to tuck in some of these botanicals. But this, it just ends up looking so adorable, doesn't it? It's just a half circle, right? Who knew? Who knew we needed a half circle? But then the cool part about it, the stylized part about it, is that it has these dots, and then it has a beveled piece, and then more of these little dots. It's really pretty. Okay, and now that I have that on there, now I'm going to affix my bow with glue dots. What else? What else? Really only needs one. There, I'd say that's Julie worthy. It's not a complete copy, but it's Julie worthy. Why don't we put some minis on this? Our dimensionals come in regular and mini. They come in white and black, so you have no excuses to not use them. We have a dimensional for anything. And and we also have foam adhesive sheets, which I haven't used in a while, but I need to. You basically can run them through the die cutting machine with a die and make them the perfect shape for a stamped image. And then they are fully foam. It's really cool. It's so fun. It's all fun, isn't it? I love it. Okay. Sending hugs. I mean, really, that's so adorable. This might have to be one of the designs that I send out. Because why not? Okay, now let's put this on. We're going to have a few different layers. Layers is where it's at with this card. And let's see. So this one's going to be in the back. I am not watching comments right now. I'm so sorry because I'm over looking at the picture. So if you're saying something really important to me, you need to put it in capitals. And then I will get back to you. I think I have time to look through comments tonight. That's good. That's fun. Now let's put this eucalyptus piece up on. Now this piece is actually petal pink, just kind of an apricot color. It's a really nice complement to Calypso Coral. I don't know that I ever have put those two together on purpose before, but I love it. That's one of the cool things with all of these coordinated products is it teaches us about color composition and different things you can do, right? And I glued that down flat, and maybe I shouldn't have, but I'm going to put these on some glue dots, and I'm really just going to keep them down at the bottom, and then they're going to be loose when they get up to the top of the card. Now, if you're like me and you kind of immediately glued that down, just take your pick tool. That's the second difficult thing. That's why I have 3 of them. I usually have to grab out at least 2. Oh, good, that's not glued down. Okay, so let me kind of smush these so you don't see them. See, they just kind of, the glue dots will roll up on themselves if you just give them a little help. Okay, that one's in there, and then let's put one of these guys, and you can cut them off short if you want. There's lots of different ways you can end up making these look. So again, with the glue dots. Then I am going to cut that little part off. Oh goodness, I have to report on my television watching, which is, you know, another passionate hobby of mine. I have finished, as of yesterday, I have finished The Handmaid's Tale. Quite horrified, but waiting for season 5, which I guess is coming. I don't think there's a date, but I was into it for sure. It was very thought-provoking. Oh my gosh, so thought-provoking. Wow. Okay, and then let's tuck in this little guy, which again, this one's so interesting. I really like that kind of double layer. Let's tuck this one down and start bringing our white elements down into the bottom. See how she like balanced this design? So it would be too top heavy if you just left it like that. So she did, or Julie said, I'm gonna tuck some in here. She did say that. I'm just making that part up. What would Julie do? And I'm gonna cut some of this. I just have a little piece here. And all of the presenters were great. And Shannon West was kind of the MC. I don't know. And fantastic. The whole thing was just super fun. Okay, so now that we have the front basically done, look at that. It is so beautiful. I know, it was fun to be creating together. I'm going to take one final look, and maybe I want to like put a little bit of glue down on that section. So here's something I do, is I just take this and I'm going to do this weird thing where I kind of butter the back of little fine images. So I'm going to put some of our glue. Come on now, work with me. Oh, brother. Oh, okay, that's why you do it like this. Just want a tiny bit. In fact, I'm going to take some of that off. See, it was stuck. Okay, so now I've got this little bit of glue, and I am just going to go underneath this and tap it. I need to make sure I'm actually on the camera like I meant to be. I'm going to tap it on there. Okay, just a little bit. You can even put a block on it. And hopefully We won't see the glue, but that was just enough to hold those really light images down. Yes, so please don't forget this this online event is just one of many specials that are offered to we demonstrators. That does not mean that you have to actually demonstrate. I wish they would call it something different, like a team member or something like that. Because you can sign up to get the special, the signing special, and the discount, and all that business, and you can join Creativity Now and all that, and you don't have to have any customers besides yourself. So I don't want you to think that you have to make it, quote unquote, a business. Now, can you? Yes, you definitely can. And you can work it into your life as it is, or you can make it your life, you know. As you know, I work full-time somewhere else. And this Stampin' Up! World serves a lot of purposes to me. And I hope that I am a good demonstrator to my customers. And customers means everyone to me. You guys, everybody. So I just hope that I am good for that. But also, it gives me a lot of inspiration. I couldn't imagine a nicer group of people to work with. And so that's one really big motivator for me, is that I just like talking to all of you and seeing all of you. It's a really beautiful part of my life. So I do teach classes online and in person. I've been doing that for, I guess, several years now. So if you have any questions about any of my upcoming events, the best thing to do is to go over to the Stamping Zoo. And once you're over there, a purple pop-up box will come on and ask you if you would like to receive my emails. That's when you click yes. And then you'll get to know about all of my events. And when you get my emails, they have links to my classes, but I can't post those links on Facebook or YouTube per Stampin' Up! Policy. So we just keep it to private messages. But what's much easier is if you'll just follow my emails, then you can ignore the stuff you don't care to join in on, but you'll at least be in the know, right? So here we go with this beautiful card. And I'm going to use the pearls on this, right? Because what would Julie do? Julie used the pearls. I think she used iridescent. Now I'm not going that far. I don't need to stalk Julie. I don't want to be Julie, but I'm going to make this card like she did. And where did I put those? I just had them. See, I was too quick on putting them away. That was one problem. Oh, but the brass butterflies. Darn it. What about the brushed brass butterflies? Do you guys want the butterflies, or do you want the... Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you, Jean. Would you like the butterflies, or would you like the pearls? That is how you can help right now. Butterflies or pearls. You put that in the comments while I'm looking for the pearls. And you can help me decide that. Because I know you'll have the right answer. Oh, that's nice. Kathy, it was so fun. And yeah, this set. Oh, goodness, let me look up the person. I want to give her, you guys decide, pearls or butterflies. And let me look up this person's name. I want to give her due credit. And we'll be talking a lot more about her, right? Everybody knows her now, at least knows of her, because, hey girl, we just used your stamp set, your $1 million stamp set, for an all-company stamping event. How cool is that? You know what? When I hit my $1 million, I don't know, will I? I hope so. But when I do, which it's going to have some sort of a llama in it, and it's going to be something about friends. But I'll be so excited. if they used it for a company event, oh my gosh, I'd probably cry. Shocker. Oh, God, I almost showed you that. Sorry, can't show you this. Okay, it's Mary Amar. Okay? Million Sales Achiever, Mary Amar. Mary, nice job. Oh, everyone likes the butterflies. Okay, so this is going to be our twist on the Julie D'Amato card. Julie used these, the pearls. We're going to use the butterflies. Julie, like, I know you probably don't need my advice, girl, but you might want to try the butterflies next time. Assuming she's watching, which of course she is, right? I think she has more important things to do. Well, I don't know about important, but she's probably, working on a template or measuring something right now. Super important. And I believe she has 2 kids and a husband. And so, we all have all these different things going on, which we bring to the table. And that's why it makes it such a fun and interesting group of people. Is it all sorts of people craft, don't they? All sorts of people stamp. I've met so many different types of people in our crafting world that I would have never met otherwise. Okay, those are beautiful. Brushed, oh, I like that a lot. Brushed brass butterflies. Just a minute, I'll bring the other card in. And so they're also in the annual catalog. And I just think well, I liked them so much that I bought 2 sets, because I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough. Yes, my $1 million set will have some sort of a llama in it and something about friends. Right? So watch for that in, I don't know, in 10 years. Okay, so this was the card as designed in the class. But then we took a slight spin and just changed the colors up a little bit. And please don't forget that technique of just using your blends to make a watercolor wash. Okay, and then also we made this card really as designed, except we added our brushed brass butterflies. Could they have called them something more difficult to say? I'm not sure. But don't you kind of want this set now? I mean, look at it. Yes, I love it so much. Yes, Jean, you are very right. And the dies that go with it, okay? So if you purchase these 2 at the same time, if you're new to this, we call this a bundle. And when you bundle it, you save 10% off of the price of buying both of them separately. Now, I'll just tell you straight up, sometimes you will think, oh, I only want the stamp set, or oh, I only want the dies. I respect everyone's budget, but I'm here to tell you from experience, you usually end up going back and getting the other product. You do. So think about that. You may as well save the 10%, right? Then you can use that on adhesives or whatever. And let's see here. So the whole thing is really easy to purchase. I can help you with that. That's what I'm here for. Well, for lots of things, but that's one of the things I do, right? Is I help you tailor your budget, your time, your needs, your own special talents to the beautiful products that we have. So I do hope that you all want to join me in the future for a class, online or in person. Go out and get your paper pumpkin, right? I'll put a link in this description so that if you would like to join up for the monthly card kit, you can subscribe. You need to subscribe, but you can suspend or cancel it at any time. So just so you know, thank you so much for sharing, everyone. I can see it in the numbers, and of course I feel it. I can tell you're sparking a lot of extra comments. I'm meeting lots of new stampers, and I'm just seeing all of this activity going on. And you guys have done that, okay? Like, I'm doing my part, but you have done your part too. So I so appreciate you. Please take a little time to think about getting Splendid Thoughts. It will be available to everyone July 1st. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon.